your microphone unless you need to speak to prevent disruption throughout this session. You are allowed to close your video if you have an internet connection during the session. The feedback form will be provided in the chat box at the end of the session. All participants are required to fill in the form. During the sharing session, you may type your question in the Slido platform that will be provided in the chat box. Please make sure you are wearing a proper attire as we are having a photo session with the speakers later. Thank you for your attention and cooperation. We will be start in a few minutes. Hello, Mr. Peter. Welcome.
Hello, hi.
So, how are you, Mr. Peter?
I'm good. Is the audio very clear?
Yes, very clear, Mr. Peter.
That's good. That's good.
How is your day, Mr. Peter?
So far so good. Yeah, but now we are actually back to working from home. So, yep, working from home then.
Have you taken your lesson, Mr. Peter?
Yep, I did earlier.
Okay.
So the participants still joining in, right?
Yes.
So how many of them, if I may ask, expected number?
So we're expecting 150 participants.
Okay.
For this evening.
That's good. How about the breakdown? How many of them actually non-UNIMAS students? Are there many?
There's quite a lot actually, and for this week we have international students.
Okay, that. And where are they from?
They are from Philippines.
Philippines, yeah. All right. And these are for accounting students only, or do you have any non-accounting? This should be an accounting, right? Okay.
So, Mr. Peter, how's the weather at your place?
It's a bit gloomy today.
Okay.
It is hot, but then it is gloomy. Yep. I think it's going to rain later on.
Actually, Mr. Peter, where do you live, Mr. Peter?
Currently based in Shah Alam.
Shah Alam. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Same. I'm also Selangorian.
Yep. Which part of Selangor are you?
I live at Sungai Buloh.
Sungai Buloh. Oh, just nearby.
Yes, very near.
So are you in Sungai Buloh now or back to UNIMAS?
Yes. Right now, I am at Sungai Buloh, and during March, I will return to the campus.
I see. All right. Oh yeah, by then, I understand that currently you guys are in your semester break. So
Yes.
March, when the semester reopen, so will the uni, perhaps this is referring to UNIMAS, will the uni be open as if in full physical classes or still going to be hybrid?
Still going to be online classes.
Okay, all right.
I think it's for hi Mr. Peter. I'm Aina, the event director.
Aina.
Yeah.
Aina.
Okay. I think it's for our faculty of economy, we are still going to have fully online classes. But some faculties such as engineering, those who need laboratories, practical, they are all going back already.
I see. Okay, I see. I think this applies to most of the public uni, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Any lecturers joining us today, or only for the students?
For now, it's only for student.
I see. Okay.
Aina, can you please mute your microphone?
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Hello everyone, welcome to our webinar series, and for your information, this evening is the second session of the second day of our webinar series, and today we will have our evening session with ACCA. For attendance, please scan the QR code or you may fill in the Google form that has been provided in the chat box for manual attendance. Before we start our session, a gentle reminder to all of participants, please mute your microphone unless you need to speak to prevent disruption throughout the session. You are allowed to close your video if you have an internet connection problem during this session. The feedback form will be provided in the chat box at the end of the session. All participants are required to fill in the form. During the sharing session, you may type your question in the Slido platform that will be provided in the chat box. Please make sure you are wearing a proper attire as we have a photo session with the speakers later on. Thank you for your attention and cooperation. We will start in a few minutes. So, Mr. Peter, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. Hello everyone and Assalamualaikum. Welcome again to the second session of the webinar series on the second day with ACCA.
I'm Sadatul.
And I'm Hedy.
And you guys will have us again as your moderators for this session. We hope everyone is doing fine and safe wherever you are. And so, did you guys have a refreshing breakfast now? If you guys have, then please give me a thumbs up. Alright, nice. That's great. I'm glad you guys are doing fine. So now we can continue with the second session, Hedy.
Yes, Sadatul. So for the first session, we listened to the Baker Hughes regarding the career of a professional accountant and auditor. And now we are moving to the second session. Did you know what we are going to listen in the second session, Sadatul?
Well, for a start, it is a well-known and respected accounting institution, and personally, I can't wait to hear more about them in this session.
Exactly, and I'm pretty sure our participants share the same sentiment with you, Sadatul.
Excuse me. Definitely, Hedy, I can see from the response. All right, with that, let's moving on with our next agenda. And this afternoon, we will have another exciting session with our invited guest speakers, Mr. Peter Gabriel from ACCA. And we hope you are having a good day, and we are looking forward to have a fun and informative session with you, sir.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before I pass the session to Mr. Peter, let me have an honor to introduce our speaker for today. Mr. Peter is primarily responsible for the implementation and delivery of sales strategy and attract prospective students to pursue ACCA, and delivery of business development strategy across university in building student recruitment pipeline. On top of that, He has been in education industry for about 12 years and mainly managing relationship with corporate stakeholder. That is a little bit intro about Mr. Peter. So, so on this evening, Mr. Peter will have the topic on seize the opportunity with ACCA. Without wasting our time, Mr. Peter, I will pass it to you.
Right. Thank you, Heidi and Saidatul, for the introductions. A very lively MC today. And of course, not forgetting to Aina for getting in touch. It is really a great pleasure for me to be able to be part of this session and be able to share with you your pathway in the ACCA qualifications. Yeah. So greetings, everyone. Hope everyone is fine, keeping safe, and of course, staying safe all the time. Now, before that, allow me to share my screen. Yeah, just give me a moment. All right, let me know if you are able to see my screen now. Is it up?
Yes, is it?
Okay. Okay, I guess it's on the full screen now. Is it?
Yes, it's okay, Mr. Peter.
Okay, it's on the full screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, today I'm going to share with you a brief information about the ACCA and of course the pathway or program that we have for the students to be eligible to register and have the opportunity to complete the exams. Yeah. So let me go through this ACCA informations, a little bit about ACCA. Now, I'm sure you all have done your research or perhaps have gone into the website to have a read. Perhaps you want to know what is ACCA all about. Now, in here, I've actually done the summary of the silent point that you need to know what is ACCA all about. Now, you know that ACCA is actually a global network that allows students to connect with us as well as to the employers, right? And then in terms of the strength, obviously we are one of the perhaps I can say that we are the biggest professional body with the strength of 233,000 members across the globe and about 536,000 future members refer to the students. And we're currently present in about 178 countries. Yeah. So in terms of offices, we here in Malaysia, we have one national office. We are located in Mid Valley and we work closely with about 7,610 approved employer. Now, who are these approved employers? They are the one you actually can work with and to accumulate your practical experience later on. Yeah. So in Malaysia, we have about 300 plus. How do you know the list of the employers? You can always go to our ACCA website, which is accaglobal.com. On the search button, you type approved employers, then you'll be directed to the link of the directory. You sort under Malaysia, then you can find the full list of employers that we have here in Malaysia. Now, approved learning partners. This is referring to the institutions that you actually can get the tuition support. Yeah. So globally, 346. In Malaysia, we have about close to 30 approved tuition provider. Yeah. And this is located almost everywhere in Malaysia. East Malaysia itself, in Kuching, we have one. Yeah. And mainly it is actually here in Klang Valley. Even when you come from the northern peninsular Malaysia, like in Penang, we do have. Even southern Johor, also we have. You can actually refer this again in our ACCA website for you to know where is it located. Now, for this, for the benefit of the non-Malaysian students, yeah, perhaps we are in your hometown, Philippines, for example. Also, you can find this information in our ACCA website. You can always refer to the directory to search for the tuition provider. Now, the accountancy professions and the landscape. Yeah. Now, in Malaysia, I'm sure by now you all should be quite familiar what is the 60,000 referred to. Yeah. So our nations aspire to produce 60,000 professionally qualified accountants by year 2030. As of now, as of October 2021, we only have slightly half of the required number, 37,000 only. Now, for you, future accountant, what can you tell through this number? I'm sure you all are trained to interpret, to do the to analyze the number. What it's all about. For me, what I can see here is an opportunity for you all. Yeah, 60,000 required, but we only have slightly half of it. So there's also a lot of opportunity waiting for you. You are actually in demand in this profession. What you need to do, go on and complete your degree, and on top of that, top up with the professional qualification ACCA, get the 3 years working experience, and eventually you are be part of this number, right? Now in Malaysia again, how can you call yourself an accountant, a chartered accountant? A qualified chartered accountant, I may say. So in here, we actually bound by the Accounting Act 1967. But for non-Malaysian, perhaps what you can do, you can please refer to your national requirement. Yeah, I'm sure there will be the national body is going who are going to monitor all the professions back at your home country. Yeah, so Malaysia, you need to register to MIA. Yep, via the Accounting Act 1967. How do you do that? You have to complete, or you need to have your local accounting degree, and other pathway, of course, to the professional qualifications. Now, let me tell you, in Malaysia itself, the current industry requirement, they will prefer someone with a professional qualifications, yeah, be it ACCA or any other professional body. So with your degree, they still require you or encourage you to have a professional qualifications. So in this, go and complete your degree again, yeah, and take up the professional qualification, pass the exam, get the 3 years working experience, and later on, you can actually apply to both MIA and ACCA membership, yeah. Now, the business qualification for a fast-changing world. You know that the role of the finance professional is constantly changing. And here at ACCA, we are constantly adapting our qualifications, staying relevant to today and anticipating the challenges for the professional of tomorrow. We regularly research the evolving needs of the employers to make sure we continue to produce accountants with the knowledge and skill sets to stay at the forefront of the profession and in demand all over the world. Yeah. So with the ACCA qualification, you can choose your career path. If you're looking for an international career, you actually come to the right place. The ACCA qualification is recognized all over the world. It is flexible too, giving you the broad base as well as opportunities to specialize. You can pursue a career that you are passionate about almost everywhere. Yeah. Second would be you stand out to the top employers. When you become an ACCA member, you will have a skill sets that the organizations everywhere are looking for now and in the future. Because we shape our qualification around the needs of employer and the evolving challenges they have. Yeah. And next one, you can actually make an impact. ACCA gives you the skills to add value in any environment. The ACCA qualification requires practical experience as well as technical learning. So by the time you qualify, you already have at least 3 years hands-on experience and know how to leverage your skills to make a difference. And studying ACCA itself is actually quite flexible. You can do it on a full-time basis or even a part-time basis or even a mixture on the blended learning. You can do via face-to-face classes, or even you can go on the online study as well. Yeah. Next, you also can become a leader via these ACCA qualifications. You will develop the skills and behaviors to lead people, drive decision-making, and implement changes. You learn how to get the best out of the new technologies, and you have the access to the latest insight and a global network of forward-thinking professionals to help you to keep your organizations ahead of the curve. Yeah. Last but not least, you also prepare for the future. Our world is changing rapidly, and organizations need finance professionals who can help them to adapt, harness new technologies, and look beyond what's possible now. Starting with ACCA, you will address the big themes in business and finance and how to get the most from them. You also develop the ability to work across geographies. And you will act to the highest professional and ethical standards. Whatever in the future brings, you will definitely be ready by then. Yeah. Now, the qualification structure. In ACCA, in order for you to become a member, you need to pass or you need to fulfill 3 requirements, which is the exam, ethics and professional skills module, and the practical experience. Now, let's talk about the exam first. In ACCA, you need to pass 13 papers, 1-3, yeah, and 3 applied knowledge, 6 papers in applied skills, and 4 papers in strategic professional. In strategic professional, 2 essential papers that you need to pass, and out of the 4 options, you just need to choose 2. Yeah. Now, most of the uni here in Malaysia, public uni, or even of the private institutions, it already has been accredited by ACCA, and therefore you'll be able to claim a maximum of 9 papers exemption, meaning to say applied knowledge and applied skills, you will get exempted. So 4 more papers that you need to go. Yeah. For other students, non-Malaysian students, you may want to check from your qualifications, yeah, through our ACCA exemptions database, also available in ACCA website, yeah, to know how many papers that you'll be able to get the exemption. Yeah. So, for example, should you have any issue or difficulties of accessing the exemption database for students in Philippines, you may want to contact our local office available in there. You can always contact Mr. Mike, yeah, our ACCA representative in Philippines. If anyone of you from Indonesia studying in university in Indonesia, we also do have our office in Indonesia for you to check with. Yeah. Now, assuming that you all get 9 papers exemptions, 4 more papers to go, which is under strategic professional, you can go on with the exam. Just need to go 4 papers. Passing mark will be 50 marks, and exam sessions there will be 4 times in a year. Yeah, every quarterly, which is March, June, September, and December. Yeah. So like I mentioned earlier, assuming that you get 9 papers exemption, you only have strategic professional to do. So what is the timeline given to you to pass all 4 papers? In strategic professional, you are given 7 years to complete all 4 papers. What does it mean by 7 years? It is going to start, the clock will start ticking once you pass the first paper. Yeah, it's not going to start at the point when you register with ACCA. So 7 years, pass the first paper, it will start counting. And what's going to happen if you pass 3 papers and 1 more paper to go? Yeah, and you keep repeating and repeating up to the 7 years. In this case, whatever paper that you pass and exceeding 7 years, then you need to reattempt the paper again. Simply because perhaps whatever you learned 7 years ago, it may not be applicable now. It's not going to be practical anymore. Therefore, you need to relearn. Yeah, but papers that you pass still within 7 years timeline, you got to keep it. But trust me, students, going through with the 4 papers, I'm pretty much sure you don't really need 7 years to complete all of it. Yeah, just give yourself a time like between 2 to 3 years to complete all. Then you move on to complete your practical experience. Yeah. Now, somehow, if you don't get the exemptions under the applied level, under this applied level, the number of attempts will be unlimited. Only when you reach to strategic professional, then you'll be given a 7 years period to complete all 4 papers. Yeah. Now, ACCA exam is already on fully computerized exam. There will be no more paper-based. Yeah. So, strategic professional, when you are ready to sit for the exam, go and register yourself. And during the registrations, you just need to choose the paper, pay for it. Now, before that, you also required to choose the location. Now, for example, you are based in Kuching. You choose Kuching as a location, and before the exam, ACCA will then send you the exam docket, a document to confirm your exams. And in the docket, it will tell you which exam center that you need to go. So on the day itself, or the day of the exam, just make sure you present, and you don't have to bring your devices like your laptop or computer, because the exam center will provide all this for you to just go and sit for the exam, right? I hope it's clear. So next, we move on to the second element, which is the ethics and professional skills module. So what is it all about? Our ethics and professional skills module is designed to provide students with a complete range of employers' needs. It will prepare students for a career as a trusted and confident finance professional. The interactive online module places students in realistic business situation where it will develop advanced ethical, professional, and digital skills needed to shine in the workplace. In short, actually, this is online learning where upon registering to the ACCA, you have the access. You have the access to this platform, yeah, the dashboard. Now, this is a compulsory requirement in order for you to apply to become an ACCA member. Now, overall, there will be about 10 modules that you need to complete, yeah, which is, it will also include an end assessment. Now, you have to go through every modules, and towards the end, you need to pass the assessment. Okay? If you fail, you need to reattempt, but the payment only one time. Yeah, the learning structure, you'll be given a video, a reading material for you to go through each module or sub-modules, and you have to go through the assessments accordingly. So total estimated for you to complete this will be between 15 to 20 hours. Yeah, but I'm not going to ask you to sit 15 hours straight. Yeah, if you think that you have enough of the day, you can always save it and come back anytime to continue and to complete the entire module. When I say between 15 to 20 hours, what happens if you complete less than 15 hours or more than 20 hours? No problem at all. Yeah, it is just an estimated timeline for you to complete all, right? Now, how does EPSM, this ethics professional skills module, support you in passing the strategic professional exam? I will definitely encourage you to what we call that, to start attempting this at the point when you register with ACCA, or alternatively, you can also do it in between while doing the strategic professional papers, or even after you complete the entire exam. Yeah, the modules will help you to develop the professional skills that you need to demonstrate in your strategic professional exam. It will help you to focus your thinking on real world work scenarios, developing your understanding and skills on how to approach the challenges presented. This is very similar to the approach that required you to take the professional exams. Yeah, so please consider, you may want to do it at the beginning of attempting the exam, or in the middle, or even after you complete the entire exam. It's up to you. Yeah. Last requirement will be your practical experience requirement. As part of your ACCA journey to become a member, you must demonstrate relevant skills and experience within a real work environment. This is what the ACCA practical experience requirement is all about. Yeah. To complete this, you need to achieve 36 months of supervised experience. This should be in relevant accounting or finance role. You also need to complete 9 performance objectives, which is 5 essential, and 4 technical objectives. Now, again, accumulating these 3 years also quite flexible. It can be done before or currently pursuing your exam, or even after you completed all the ACCA exams. Yeah, and a good news is that if you happen to perform your internship 6 months, this is also can contribute the 3 years working experience, as long as you able to get your mentor to sign off your the time off during your practical experience. Now, when I say workplace mentor, it could be someone in the company, could be your manager, a supervisor, or even someone with a professional qualifications, or an IFAC member. Okay, and please make sure when you do your practical or your full-time job, it must be in accounting and finance related job. It cannot be somehow you do HR related and claiming this 3 years working experience. Unfortunately, this one cannot be counted. All right. So once you register to become an ACCA student, in your ACCA account, you can always view this under the My Experience tab. Yeah, feel free to explore that. Now, ACCA Careers is actually our very own job board for more exciting opportunities in a myriad of sectors that could benefit the students. Career advice like writing a good CV, preparing for virtual interviews are also made available here to support your journey. Now, this is something similar to some of the online job platforms like LinkedIn, yeah, but this one is under the ACCA. It will look like this, yeah. To view this, again, go to the ACCA website. On the search button, you type ACCA Career, click the link, and you'll be directed into this page. So since this is actually open to students and it's free, so I will encourage you to go and have a look, explore, and perhaps register into this platform. You have a CV, go and update, revise. Once you become a registered member in this, upload your CV, and who knows, one day employers happen to browse through and they happen to see your CV, they like what they see and perhaps give you an opportunity for an interview. Yeah. So again, go on and explore this platform. Now, somehow, in the future, you aim or you aspire to work not only in Malaysia, perhaps in other parts of the world. Now, in here, you have the informations like the opening available in UK, Europe, Asia Pac, and any other parts of the world. Yeah, feel free to explore and give yourself a try. Yeah, to apply for this opening. Who knows? There'll be an opportunity for you to work abroad. Yeah. The learning that I mentioned earlier are also available in here. You perhaps wanted to know how to write a good CV or tips on how to go online job interview. Yeah, it's all available in here. You just need to explore and it's free, right? Next will be the ACCA Career Navigator. This is something, like a new development by ACCA, which aims to help students and our members to grow into a senior leadership roles by identifying exactly what capabilities are required at every level and helping them to map their own skills. The tool will make it transparent to them what steps they need to take in order to give them to the competitive edge to achieve the next step in their career path. The digital tools identify the core skills accountants need at each level of their career to allow them to be successful in the next decade. It lays out the way of finance professional to move forward and highlight opportunity for them to advance by developing the right skill. Yeah. So the role of the professional accountant, like I mentioned earlier, is incredibly diverse and evolving very quickly. Hence, we need to adapt just as fast and to take immediate steps so that to ensure we stay relevant and success in the future. With the Career Navigator, accounting professionals at every level, including students who are just breaking into the job market, have the opportunity to explore different accounting positions, learn more about the skills and capabilities they need to excel, and connect with the employers to find the latest job offering best suited to their capabilities and interests. And now, this is also good for those who aspire, in the future, say for example, you aspire to become a CEO or a business leader. Now, in this platform, what you can do, go and explore, fill in the informations, and then it will later on, it will tell you what kind of skill sets that you need to develop. And also we'll lay out the webinar or trainings that you need to go through in order for you to achieve your dream career, right? Now, ACCA Accelerate, what this is all about. Now, for some of you, you could have, quite familiar with this program. Now, ACCA Accelerate is actually designed for our accounting degree students, and it's actually being offered to the university students who has been already accredited with the exemptions. Now, I'll give you an example. UNIMAS itself is already been accredited by ACCA with the exemption and so on, and also have the opportunity to come into this ACCA Accelerate program. Now, for other unis, in case you are not so sure, you can always contact me or your university representative to check whether is it available in your uni. Yeah, similar to a non-Malaysian students, perhaps you also can contact our local office available at your area or your country to check on this offering, right? So what is ACCA Accelerate all about? It's actually a special arrangement between ACCA and the higher education provider, meaning your institutions. Yeah, so you are actually presented with an opportunity to kickstart your journey towards obtaining a professional qualification as early as while you are in your degree study. Yeah, in this case, we prefer or encourage those in penultimate year, or even when you are in final of your degree study. Penultimate means if it's a 4 years degree, means when you are in third year, you can start registering into this program already. Yeah. So a brief history about how can you register in ACCA in the past. You need to complete your degree first. Yeah. You get your official degree and transcript, then only you'll be able to register in this program. But with this scheme, the Accelerate scheme, you can register even while you're still in your degree study. Yeah. So what is the benefits of this program that we offer to our students upon signing up in this? First, you get to get all these career opportunities. ACCA provides you with the platforms to connect with employers. Our registered Accelerate students, we do have an event, workshops, webinars, and many others that will invite the students to participate. Yeah, we will get our speakers from the industry to give you the overview on the job. What is tax, for example, tax audit all about, or what is the corporate finance career, how can you explore in it, or even in the advisory or any other parts of the job. Yeah, so we do have this from time to time. So in a way also, we're actually building a bridge between you students to connect with your future employers. You'll be able to ask them, what is your future with them? What is the opportunity that you can explore with them, and many others. Exclusive value, this is referring to the discount that you'll be able to get by registering into this Accelerate program. Yep, I will show you the what we call the table in a short while on how much, or the comparison if you register after you graduate from your degree. Yeah, so get a head start. This is actually an opportunity for you to take exam while pursuing your degree and to fast track your ACCA membership. Again, earlier on I mentioned that through this Accelerate program, it gives you the opportunity to register into this program while you are still in the degree, and also have the opportunity to start taking the exam. Yeah. So if you have started, have you registered into this program and perhaps you have completed at least 1 or 2 papers during degree. So what's going to happen when you look for a job later on? Yeah, you already have 2 papers cleared in your ACCA, and you can call yourself a partially qualified ACCA already. To compare with a candidate from perhaps other students from other institutions who only have a degree. Yeah. So if I'm an employer, I would definitely will consider you because you have a degree and partially qualified with the ACCA. Yeah. So think about it. Yeah. And also it will enhance your CV. Employers are more likely to hire someone with a head start in a professional qualification. Now, even when you apply for your internship and you are currently already a registered accelerated student, you can already put that info in your CV. Now, for employers, when they see this, they will treat you as someone who is committed towards completing your professional qualification. So you have an add value in your CV or resume. Yeah. So also being an ACCA registered students, you'll be able to connect with being a membership of the ACCA community. So you'll be able to network not only students from Malaysia, but also students all over the world. Yeah. So perhaps you may be able to, to exchange idea or tips on how to go through with the exams. Now, this is the fees, the comparison. Now, this is only applicable for Malaysian students, yeah, studying in Malaysian uni. For non-Malaysian, please consult the ACCA reps back in your home country. So Malaysian students, take a look of this. Under the Accelerate program, you will enjoy a huge discount benefits. I'll put normal registrations as a comparison, yeah. Normal registration means that you will register to ACCA after you complete your degree, whereby if you are under Accelerate, this is a requirement for this, you must register while you're still in your degree study. Now, initial registrations, what the one-time payment, under Accelerate, you only have to pay £20, whereby if you wait until you graduate, then you will register as a normal student, then you have to pay in full, which is £89. Yeah. Annual subscription, the yearly fee that you need to pay, Accelerate students, the fees is going to waive while you are in your degree study. Say, for example, if you're signing up in your third year of your degree, so your third year and fourth year of your degree, annual subscription is waived. You will require to pay, start paying after you graduate. Yeah. For the exemption fee for the 9 papers, assuming that you get 9 papers exemption, for Malaysian students, the total fee without discount, you got to spend about £942. Yeah, but under the Accelerate program, you only charge at the discounted rate of 225 only, £25 per paper. Yeah, so 9 papers, it will cost you £225. Exemption fee for Accelerate students, you are not required to pay immediately because you'll be given a deferment to a maximum of 1 year after you graduated from your degree. Yeah. So how do you do that? Within that 1 year, you need to submit your official degree certificate and transcript to ACCA. You can upload through your ACCA account or email to ACCA. Then ACCA will process the exemption, and eventually we will issue the invoice for you to make payment for the £225. Please make sure, take note, yeah, to claim for this discount, you must upload your documents not later than 1 year after you completed your degree. Now, to register with this scheme, you'll be given a document, we call it the Accelerate letter. The date will be stated on it. Yep, you have to refer on that. Now, fees and charges, this is actually referring to the exam fees and other fees that are chargeable to ACCA. Yeah. So for exam, for example, it is good for you to know when you are ready to sit for the exam, always monitor the exam entry deadline. I'll give an example. For June 2022 exam, say for example, if you are planning to go for the SPR paper, then the standard entry will close on the 2nd May. So the fee will be £164. Should you miss the deadline for the standard entry, then I'm afraid you have to go for the late entry that will cost you almost double of the actual fee. So please do observe the deadline, otherwise you miss it and then you have to go for the late entry. Now, how do you refer to this? Again, go to the ACCA website and type fees and charges, then you'll be directed to the link. Yeah. This is according to the country. For Malaysian students, you can sort under Malaysia. For other students, you can sort according to your country as well. All right. Now, this is the proposed study structure once you sign up into the Accelerate program. Now, I'm assuming that you register during your penultimate year, which is a 4-year degree, then you register during your 3rd year. So once you register, do consider to at least attempt 1 paper. Yeah. Then you move on to your final year of your degree, then attempt another 1 paper. Once you complete your degree, then you can continue with the 2 remaining papers. Again, just to remind you, this is a proposed structure. It is not compulsory for you to pass 1 or 2 papers, but it is encouraged you to do so, simply because what I mentioned earlier, it will add to your add value to your CV, because in there you can always mentions that you're already partially qualified with the ACCA qualifications. Yeah, somehow I do understand the challenges of being a degree student. You have a lot of commitment, your exam, assignments, and so on. If you really think that you won't be able to commit into this, what I would advise you to do, register while you're still in the degree, and you can start taking the exam after you completed your degree. Also doable. All right. Now, AC study support and resources. Now, on top of the tuition classes that you can get from our institution, our approved institutions, according to the list I mentioned earlier, you also can explore these free resources through our website, okay, through our accaglobal.com. Under the Students tab, go to Student Support Resources, then you can find all these informations in here, all right? Now, you can find syllabus, study guide, specimen exam, past year, exams, and answer also available, yeah? Perhaps you wanted to know what is the subject all about, what is being covered. Always go, you can always go to the syllabus, take a look, have a read, so that you know all the informations in this. Yeah. Again, when I showed you the exam, the papers in ACCA, the 13 papers that you have to complete. I'm sure by first glance you know that this is actually for accounting students actually nothing alien to you, yeah, because somehow you probably have done it previously in your degree, but just to re-emphasize here, yes, you may have, but in ACCA, you may need to learn more in depth, yeah? So you may want to refer to the syllabus on this, right? On top of it, I'm very pleased to inform you, ACCA also will provide some kind of support to the students in terms of the tuition classes. Now, if you're already an ACCA Accelerated student and still in your degree study, this is referring to Malaysian students, yeah? You can always contact me that we actually offer this to one-time support, yeah? So we will give you the tuition class, a free tuition class for you to go through with the tuitions and so on to prepare you for the exam. So at this point of time, we open for June exams, this coming June 2022 exam. So you have the access to the selected webinars on top of the tuition classes that I mentioned earlier. And also you will be able to attend our SP, the Strategic Professional Computer-Based Exam Workshop. Will inform our students on this. But what is the expected commitment from the students? There will be terms and conditions. Students must have registered an ACCA Accelerated students, yeah? And you'll be given to choose either Strategic Business Leader, SBL, or SBR paper for this coming June exam, yeah? Like I mentioned, you're only entitled to this only one time only, yeah? If you're taking this for June exam, then subsequent paper, you'll be no longer entitled for it. It's only one time. Reason being is that we wanted to encourage you to start with your professional papers, yeah? And To be able to be eligible for this, to gain for the access for the tuitions, you also must register and pay for the exam. Yeah, ACCA will support for the tuitions, but on your side, you need to make sure that you have registered to the Accelerate, register for the exam, and pay for it. This is referring for the June exam, right? So further info, should you keen to be part of this, you may want to contact me, because then I will then advise you accordingly how to register and so on, and the requirement, right? And I'm sure some of you perhaps from the from other universities around Malaysia, if you're not aware of this program, do contact me, and then I will more than happy to advise you. Now, how do you start? How to register into this program? Again, for this, I would definitely encourage you to consult with me, to contact me, or even to consult with the uni representative, because I'm sure each and every uni in Malaysia, we have our contact persons that will be able to advise you accordingly, because there will be two documents required. Yeah. First, you need to make sure that you need to register into the Accelerate while you're still in your degree study. If you already graduated, means you're no longer eligible to apply for this scheme. Now, the documents required will be your identification ID, yeah, your IC, a scanned copy of it, because it's going to be online applications, and a signed Accelerate letter. What is the Accelerate letter all about? If you're not sure, please consult your uni representative or contact me to get more details. Now, these two documents is required for you to upload during registrations. Yeah, only two documents. You don't need to upload your degree, partial result, or probably your diploma result, or any other qualifications. Yeah, please note, only two documents. Exemption fee will be invoiced upon uploading the final transcript, meaning to say, once you have graduated within the 1 year that I mentioned earlier, you need to upload your certificate, your degree certificate, and the transcript. Right? I hope it's clear. Next, in order for you to register online, this is the platform again, under the accaglobal.com. Click apply now, then you'll be directed to the application page, registration page. You need to fill up all your information and then upload the two documents and to insert the registration code. Now, what is the registration code? You need to refer to the letter that you get. Yeah, please check the letter. Now, again, if you're still not sure what is the Accelerator all about, do consult with the uni or contact me to get more info. Because every uni, every graduation cohort, you will have a specific letter to be given to you, and the code will be different from each of it. Now, I'm sure you have questions, burning questions. Let me address this. This is some of the frequent asked questions that I always get from the students. Now, first, if I register to Accelerate now, must I take the exam? Now, ACCA strongly encourage you to take at least one paper so that you graduate with a degree and also to be ACCA part qualified. Yeah. Again, if you think that you have commitments, and you won't be able to commit to do extra qualification like ACCA, you can always register now and start doing the paper later on, the exams later on. Yeah. Can I register for Accelerate after my degree completions? The answer will be no, because this scheme is only applicable if you register while you're still in your degree study. What is the durations to complete ACCA papers? Again, like I mentioned earlier, you are given 7 years to complete the 4 papers under the strategic professional exams. Will the exemptions discount will be valid forever? No, it will expire within 1 year as indicated on the Accelerate letter. Yeah, once you get your letter, please refer the dates on it. Yeah, it will tell you when is the deadline. And you also need to make sure that you upload your transcript prior to the date printed on the letter, right? If I decide to take ACCA exams during my degree studies, do I have to settle the exemption fee first? The answer will be no. The 1 year deferment period applies. Yeah. If I registered with ACCA before, am I eligible to Accelerate? The answer will be no. Yeah, this probably happened Previously, after your SPM or after your diploma or your PU, you have registered to ACCA. Now, since you have registered, then your what we call that, your details will be appearing in our ACCA database. That's why it prevents you to register on this Accelerate. Yeah. If it's happened to you, please contact me. Allow me to check, and then I'll be able to advise you accordingly. Yeah. So the exam registrations, this is the steps just for you to know. First, you need to register into ACCA. Then you'll be given an ACCA ID in order for you to able to register in your ACCA account. We call it My ACCA. So you have to observe, you need to observe the deadline, whether it's going to be standard or late entry. Choose the paper that you want to sit, and then choose the exams locations in order for us to then to allocate you to the exam center. Then you make the payment. After that, 2 weeks before the actual exam, you receive an exam document, the exam docket from ACCA, to confirm with you the exam details and the what we call that, the exam center that you need to go to. Yep. Then on the exam day, make sure you're well prepared. Bring your documents, your stationery, and so on. Yep. And make sure you present at the exam center. Right. Now, I think I come to my last slides. Now, should you have further questions, which I perhaps didn't cover, you can always contact me through these contact details. My email will be here, peter.gabriel@accglobal.com. And you also can actually contact me via my mobile. You can call me, or you can even leave WhatsApp me. Yeah. In case I didn't manage to pick up your call, drop me a message through WhatsApp. Tell me your name, your uni, and then set your questions, and I will get back to you soon as I can. All right. So with this, I think you managed to snap this. I will also post it in the chat box later on. I will pass back this to MC for the questions and answer. Over back to you, MC.
Thank you, Mr. Peter, for the valuable presentation regarding the opportunity that we can seize from ACCA. So let us continue the excitement to the long-awaited segment, the Q&A session. So technical team, you may share screen the Slido. Okay, I'm sure the participants have lots of questions to ask, so you guys may type your question in the Slido that have been shared by the committee in the chat box, or you may scan the QR code in the screen. So, while waiting for the other participants typing their question in, let's start for the first question. Mr. Peter, shall we?
Sure, please proceed.
Okay, so the first question is, what does the optional means for University of London MSc in professional accountancy? Does that mean ACCA is the same level as masters from the uni?
All right. Yes, we actually have these collaborations with University of London. Should you plan to get a master degree, you can do via this program. Meaning to say, once you have completed your ACCA, then you register into this program to do perhaps, I think, another 2 modules. You pass, then you'll be awarded with the qualification master. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Peter.
Yeah.
And the next question is it possible to acquire the ACCA qualification without the 3 years of work experience with an approved employer?
Okay, I will presume that you are asking whether you can go on with the exam without the working experience. The answer is yes, you can. You can actually complete the exam, pass all the papers without you going through the practical experience first. We do have quite a number of full-time students who actually go on and study, complete the ACCA first without the working experience. Once they complete the entire exam, then only they start working and start accumulating the 3 years working experience. Now, also to share with you, in the perspective of accelerated students, I do have quite a number of students, similarly like you, degree students who have actually registered into the accelerated program, and they start taking the exam while they were in year 3 of their study. And it happens that there are few success stories where they complete their degree, means they graduate with a degree, and they also complete the 4 papers in ACCA. So complete 2 qualifications at the same time. It is doable. Yeah. I'm not pushing you to go and complete all 4, yeah, because I know the challenges, how heavy it is. But if you can, by all means, you can proceed. But if you can you can at least complete one, it's already good enough. It is doable, right?
Thank you, Mr. Peter, for that information. And the next question is, are there any requirement for the works experience for 3 years? Like specific requirement of the work experience, like finance function or internet audit only, or any function is fine as long as approved by the employer?
Yeah. Okay. Like when I mentioned about finance or accounting related job, it will actually include like if you are in tax, in audit, or internal audit, and many others. Yeah. As long as it's related, it is counted. Yeah. Only when you do something is totally non-related, like HR or marketing and so on, then it is not counted. Not to worry on that. If you happen to be in our approved employers, they would definitely know how to structure on that, especially when you join Big Four, because they have a specific personnel, I think, department who are going to manage this. But okay, and also I always say approved employer. What happens if you are working with a non-approved employer? Are you eligible to accumulate your 3 years working experience? The answer is yes. Again, you need to make sure that you are performing the finance and accounting related role, yeah? And also, you need to find someone to sign off your practical experience document. And also, in your practical experience, you need to log in, right? You need to actually do the justification. Means you have to write some justification. How do you achieve this performance objective? And this to be sent the mentor for them to verify. Yeah, also possible.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Peter. So we proceed to the next question. The question sounds, I hear there are some other method of attempting exam at home other than giving to the center. Is there still relevant? No?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. All right. I think for the past few sessions, initially for Malaysian market, okay, but other country you need to check with your country punya requirement. But in Malaysia, for the past few sessions, it is initially actually open for computer for the exam center only. Meaning to say, you need to go to the exam center to sit for the exam. But due to the pandemic, where it's actually restrict the movement, we then offer an options for the students to do remote invigilated exam, meaning to say they can opt to do the exam at their home. But before that, before you opt to do that, you are required to do some testing through your computer, to your system, whether it's actually compatible to the ACCA system. Yeah. If it's all okay, then you are actually allowed to register and opt to that options, and you can do the exam at your home. All right. But of course, there will be a lot, more requirement that you need to go through. Right. But good news is that I also got to know that starting from this June 2022 exam, when students register for the exam, then you can now choose either you want to go to the exam center or you want to do it on the remote exam basis, right?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Peter. So for the next question, it sounds interesting. It is possible can it is possible can accountant after receive bachelor in finance?
Yeah, I totally understand these questions. Yeah, meaning to say you are currently doing a non-accounting degree like finance or any other disciplines, right? The answer is yes. I come across a few cases where their first degree is actually totally a non-accounting. They're actually from law, or they also cases that they're actually from engineering background, with eventually they actually register into the ACCA and get this qualification, and they happen to complete all the papers and get the 3 years work experience, then they actually manage to become a member. Yeah, closer to this, if you're talking, if you are saying that you are finance students, there were actually a lot of them out there. Their degree is a finance, but they come, they continue to study ACCA qualification. It is doable, okay? Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Peter. So the next question is, will we receive materials such as textbook and such when we register for a paper?
Okay. Now, I think this is a bit tricky. When I presented the registration and so on earlier on, that is for you to register to ACCA first. Yeah, you need to register to ACCA first in order for you to be able to go for the exam. Now, second, should you wish to register to get the tuition classes and other support, then you have to do a separate registrations to the respective institution. So when you do that, normally they will provide you with the learning materials like textbook or even notes and so on. Yeah, to register with ACCA itself is just to give you the registrations only, but we don't offer you like to give you all the textbooks. Only when you register to the respective institution. Now, if you notice, yeah,
yes,
you can continue.
So it is to say that if we register under Swinburne or Sunway, then we can have the material from that specific university, right?
That's right. Yeah. But if you're referring to my slides earlier on the study support provided by ACCA, where you can only get one time, yes, that one, if you happen to be in that, if you are joining that support from ACCA, our approved online provider will give you the notes, the material.
Right, thank you. And this is the question from a participant. Where will we be able to obtain? I think this person means that when will we be able to get connection and our webinars after we register? I think they ask where could we get the
webinar workshop that I mentioned earlier.
Yes, the workshop and so on regarding the course.
Okay. Now, once you register an ACCA Accelerate students, you would your record or your information like your email definitely will be with ACCA. So we actually will blast out the email to our students to invite you to participate on these events. When we have it from time to time, we normally will send the invitations to our students. You will definitely get it. Yeah.
Yes, that's really. And the next question is, how would the exemption be like if I transfer over from another professional qualification? For example, if ICA, EW, etc.
Okay. This one, I'm assuming that you actually have another professional qualifications. So when you register with ACCA, you need to upload similar to the degree requirement. You need to submit your your result, your transcript, or perhaps if you already completed past some of the level of the qualifications, you need to submit, and then ACCA will do the assessments according to what paper that you have passed earlier. Yeah.
So it means that yes.
But for degree, it's quite straightforward. Because you have done the assessment, the accreditations. Let's say, for example, if you are a Unimas accounting degree graduates, it has been accredited, then it will definitely tell you 9 papers going to be exempted. Yeah.
So even if the professional paper that they are currently taking isn't complete yet, so still they can take ACCA, register for ACCA, something like that.
The way I understand your question is like students currently doing qualification A, for example, yeah, and at the same
Yes,
time wanted to do ACCA.
yes, exactly.
Okay,
Is it
very.
possible, or they
It is.
have to complete that one first in
It
order to
is.
take ACCA?
It is possible to have two professional qualifications at the same time, but the questions to be. I know some of you very what's that eager to have two. It has happened before. I've seen
Yes.
that. Yeah, but I think it is advisable for you to go and complete the first qualification first before you move on to another one, because the challenges of having two professional qualifications at the same time is quite heavy. Okay, if you are studying your degree, for example, you can imagine, I think doing your degree is already heavy, and to top up with another professional qualifications like ACCA, I think it's going to be very heavy. And you can imagine if you have another one, I think, I don't know, or do you have, extra time left for you to even for yourself to study all this? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And just to also to share with you in terms of industry, for them, by having one professional qualifications is really good enough. It's never meant. I mean, it never in my knowledge that for them to require you to have two professional qualifications. For you, perhaps you complete one professional qualification first, and then perhaps for your own self development or your own certification to have another one, then you can actually plan to do it later on, not to do it all concurrently. All right?
Okay, okay, Mr. Mister. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. And the next question is it recommended to join a tuition center in order to pass the paper, or is it possible to pass it by self-studying?
Okay. It is actually recommended for you to get a proper tuition support from our approved learning provider. But then somehow we also do have students who actually doing self-study, which is also doable and they pass the paper. So do ask yourself, if you are someone who is actually able to do your own self-study without any distractions, you can always do that. Go and get your materials and do your own self-study. Or if you're someone who needs a guidance or a proper tuitions, then you can opt to do tuitions via the tuition provider. Or alternatively, you can do blended. You do self-study, and then you also can actually sign up for the revision classes towards the end. I mean, before you sit for the exam. Also doable. Very flexible. I leave it the options to you.
Okay, thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Peter. So the next question is, how hard is it to complete the papers during the degree for accelerated program?
Okay, I'll be very honest to you. Based on my survey and my communications with our students, the accelerated students, like I mentioned earlier, we do have students who have completed both degree and ACCA at the same time. Meaning to say, perhaps when they're in year 3 of their study, they actually pass one paper during SEM 1, another paper in SEM 2, then when move on to the final year, SEM 1, SEM 2, they pass both papers, so complete all 4 papers. It is very heavy and hectic. You need to, you need to be able to manage your own time, yeah, because you're studying for your degree and ACC at the same time, and on top of that, there are assignments for you to complete, quizzes, tests, and so on, yeah. So, in order for you to manage this, I will definitely encourage you to actually, be able to really to be committed in your study and manage your time well, right?
So, okay, for next question is, it is advisable to further ACCA about?
Okay. Now, if you have the opportunity, why not? Yeah. Say for example, you complete your degree and you have 4 more papers to go, and you plan to go perhaps in UK or another place. In where else the other destination? Dublin, for example, because there will be quite a number of tuition provider or institutions that offer ACCA. Yeah. Anyway, be it any any of the locations I mentioned earlier, if you have the opportunity, go for it because it gives you the exposure. Yeah, studying in perhaps overseas, for example, and you have the exposure to meet up with fellow students from any students from all over the world. You can, yeah. But just to tell you, if you really can't, then not to worry. You can always stay in Malaysia and study for it because whatever you learn and sit for the exam here in Malaysia actually similar across all over the world. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Peter. So for the next, how long the average study duration before we taking the paper?
Okay, normally you give yourself okay, again, there will be 4 exams in a year: March, June, September, December. If you are planning to go for June exam, normally students will start studying at the beginning of January. Okay, they give themselves about 5 months to prepare. But some students, even three months period also for them is quite sufficient. Now, if you're planning to go for June, starting from this March onwards to study for ACCA, also possible. All right, it is doable. Now, again, if you already registered for June, for example, and you're preparing for it, but somehow towards the exam, and you think that you really cannot sit for it, don't worry because you actually allowed to make amendments to your exam entry, meaning to say you can always withdraw from the exam and the fees that you paid earlier on will be refunded back into your ACCA account for you to utilize in the next exam. But make sure, when I say you are allowed to make amendments, there is a deadline for that. You will able to make changes as long it is still within the standard exam entry. But once it's over, there will be no more changes can be made. Yeah, so if you want to withdraw after that, you can, but the fees will be forfeited. You must make an amendments within the standard entry of the exam.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Peter. Regarding the latest question that I asked you, I want to ask that is it for one paper after we have learned for 3 months, we will take our exam, right?
That's right.
And then after we pass the paper, so we will not taking the paper again, is it?
The paper that you passed already, you mean?
Yes, that I have passed. So
if you pass already means you don't have to take the paper anymore. You continue with the remaining papers. It's only if you reach the 7 years time limit, then if the paper that you pass exceeding 7 years, then you have to reattempt again.
Okay, I understand. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Mr. Peter.
Yeah.
So we will proceed to the next question. Some people comment that ACCA is now a common and typical profession qualification. What is your opinion?
Okay, it might be, you've probably seen that there's quite a number of ACCA holder at this point of time, right? And that could be leading you to comment this, that it's quite common. But in terms of career opportunity, there's no limit. Even there's many, I'm sure that you still will get, you will still be able to get secure a job in the industry. There is no restrictions that, say for example, if I'm a company A, for example, I already have like more than enough of ACCA graduate in my company, I don't want you anymore. No, that's not the case at all. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So for another question, will I be considered an ACCA member if I don't plan to complete the 3 years work experience? Can I include it in my resume as completed ACCA? Assume all pass.
All right. For you to apply to become ACCA member, you need to complete the exam, pass all the exam, complete the EPSM, the ethics online module, and complete the 3 years working experience. Now, yeah. So now, give you this scenario. If you just happen to just pass your exam, the 13 papers or the 4 remaining papers you pass, and complete the ethics module without working experience, you only can call yourself an affiliate. Yeah. Being as a member, you need to complete all the 3 requirements. Without 3 years working experience, you just can put as an ACCA affiliate only. You cannot call yourself an ACCA member only when you get 3 years working experience. So referring to the questions, without the 3 years working experience in your CV, you can put as ACCA affiliate, meaning to say you just passed the exam without 3 years working experience.
Okay, I see. So, Mr. Peter, can you explain again about what if we are still after we completed our degree, so we want to write in our resume for the partially ACCA. How about that?
You can put in there under the qualification, you said ACCA, partially qualified, and then you can state what papers you have completed so far, or perhaps you already attempted what paper or something like that. So you can say that you are ACCA partially qualified.
Okay, thank you. So,
Yep.
For the next question, may I know what is the minimum requirement of grading or GPA if I am planning to take the ACCA?
Okay, if you're referring to ACCA Accelerate program, ACCA doesn't set any CGPA requirement. As long you are under this accounting degree, let's say for example UniMas, and you are in your year 3 already, you can actually register into this program. But some other public uni, the university might have set a requirement in order for you to go and get the accelerate letter, because I know that they only issue the letter if you achieve a certain CGPA. Say for example, the uni said that you only eligible to this accelerate program, and I will give you the letter if your current CGPA is 3. Below 3, then they won't allow you to register. Okay, that is for the accelerate. But if you are somehow not qualified for this due to the uni requirement, you can always register into the ACCA later on after you graduated. Yeah, it's only during accelerate the uni might have set some requirement. Other than that, no.
Okay, thank you. So, for another question, will the salary be much higher if I get the ACCA?
Okay, perhaps I put this in an example. As a fresh grad and you already have ACCA, when you join a company like audit firms, your starting salary could be the same from the rest of it. Yeah, because you're just a fresh grad, ma. But then as you move on, climb, compared to those who have not gotten their professional qualifications, your salary jump will be much faster. Yeah, because you already have professional qualification compared to those who only have the degree, because they still need to go on and complete the degree. They only get the salary revised or probably upon completion of certain level of the papers. But for you, you don't have to worry of completing anymore. You just need to concentrate on working and getting your what we call that performing during your work. Then your salary will just increase, and that means the jump will be what we call that, will steadily have the increment, and it will be much faster compared to those who don't have the professional qualifications. Starting could be the same, but along the way, yours is going to be going to be increased much faster.
Okay, thank you. It sounds so interesting that I hope that I also will be able to take the ACCA.
You'll have the opportunity. Yeah.
Okay, so for the next question, is the ACCA is compulsory in order to run own audit firm?
To practice, and then perhaps to have your own practice later on, I think the most important thing is that you need to be an MIA membership. You need to be an MIA member. I mean, to be registered as an MIA member. Okay, but in terms of your credential, of course, having a professional qualification is more preferable. Yeah.
Okay, for the next question, is there any good financial support for student who wishes to take ACCA during degree?
Okay.
Like, I mean, like sponsorship maybe?
Okay. Now, I'm not so sure who asked this question, whether it is a local Malaysian or are they Bumi? Because, I'm not so sure whether MyPack have gone into their session yet or about to.
They will be having their session tomorrow.
Okay. Now, if you are a Malaysian students and then perhaps you are a Bumi Putra, then the session is actually mainly to talk about the financial support in terms of sponsorship. But for other students, which is a non-Bumi, you may want to explore financial support through the employers, meaning to say at the point when you apply for the internship, make sure you perform well, because at the end of the day, you could be offered as a permanent placement, and when you are with them, they will definitely have this, study support to be given to you, including study leave and so on. All right?
All right, okay, thank you. So we have a few questions left. So for the third for the next question is it said that the number of the people who took ACCA has increased? Will this give an impact in terms of attracting further employee to hire?
I kind of like I never heard about this, where employers actually highlight that since there's already more ACCA in the industry, they are not going to hire them anymore. No, that is not true at all. Yeah, I never heard of this. As long you have the qualifications required, be it ACCA or something like that, you will definitely stand a chance to get employed. Yeah, so there's no restrictions as in number.
Okay, so the question next is how.
Okay, I think I remember the questions. How do you become an MI member? Now, if you're a Malaysian student studying in a local public uni, right? Your degree itself is already happened to be listed in the schedule in MIA schedule, yeah, table in order for you to become MIA. So what you need to do, you just need to go graduate first, complete your degree, and get 3 years working experience and apply to MIA. But again, like I mentioned earlier, I emphasize that due to the industry requirement, they'll still prefer you to have a professional qualification. So why not, with your degree, top up with the professional qualifications like ACCA, and then go on to complete your 3 years working experience, and you can actually apply to both MIA and ACCA membership at the same time.
Okay, for the next question, is studying for degree and ACCA accelerate be longer than those who take ACCA after SPM?
Okay, let's talk about SPM first. If you're after SPM and you are immediately joining ACCA, you have to do the foundation program first, the FIA, which will be 1 year program. Okay, once you complete the 1 year program, then you will be transferred into the ACCA with 3 papers exemption. The first 3 you don't have to do. So meaning to say you only have to complete 6 in skills and 4 in strategic professional. So all 10 papers together in ACCA, the durations will be between 2 to probably to the maximum 3 years lah. So all in all, you only have 4. You only need to spend 4 years after SPM to complete ACCA. So that's talking about after SPM. I immediately joined FIA 1 year, another 3 years for ACCA. So all you know about 4 years. Now, if you're from SPM, going for degree, and then after that going for ACCA, after SPM, assuming you go on with your matrix. Matrix is 1 year or 2 years?
1 year, right? 1 year and 2 years.
Okay, so let's say you finish it very fast, 1 year matrix, and you go for your degree another 4 years. So already 5 years, right? So ACCA for remaining 4 papers, if you do it full time, it will be good if you can finish within 1 year, so another 1 year. So all about 6 years, right? So I would say if you already pretty much decided after SPM you wanted to do ACCA, then go on directly to do ACCA because it's going to be very short. I mean, it's going to be shorter, 4 years only compared to go through degree. But either of these pathway, I still leave it to the students because I think that you guys choose to do degree because you want to experience, have to have all the university life, study more, and then only go on to the ACCA. So all I leave it to you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Peter. So, I want to ask, is it CAT is same as ACCA?
CAT is the one, the foundation I mentioned earlier. After SPM, you take CAT for 1 year, then you move on into the ACCA. Yeah.
Okay, so it seems to be the last question. If did not manage to pass certain paper, how about the paper that the student has passed before? Will it be affected?
No, whatever paper you pass, it doesn't affect at all. Yeah, it's not like degree. If you reattempt, then it will affect your CGPA. No, in ACCA, it will record it as pass. That's it. Then you move on and continue to go and complete the other papers that you're about to pass or yet to pass. Yeah. So pass already, it doesn't matter. It will remain there. No, it's not going to be affected at all.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Peter. So I will pass the floor to Senator.
Thank you, Heidi. And thank you, Mr. Peter, for answering all of our inquiries. And we hope the participants gain a lot of information from this Q&A. And as we know from the sharing and Q&A session just now, there's a lot of benefits that we can get if we decide to register for ACCA. All right, everyone. Now we will proceed with our photo session with our speaker. So kindly open your cameras and show your most beautiful smile. Technical team, on your cue.
Hello, testing. So everyone's ready? Okay, I'll read. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Three. On the count of 3, I'll take out the first picture. Okay. So 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Freestyle. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, technical team, and also thank you, everyone, and thank you, Mr. Peter, for the constructive sharing today. And I hope that we can meet again in the future event. And with that, our sharing session for today are officially ended.
All right. Thanks so much, everyone. Stay safe. Bye-bye. And do contact me if you have any further questions. I've left my contact details. So, yep.
Thank you, Mr. Peter. See you again.
Okay, thank you again, Mr. Peter, for the insightful speech regarding the opportunity that we can get through on ACCA. I'm sure most of the participants are now excited, including myself, to pursue our further career by applying to the ACCA. It seems like it to be more benefit that we can get from there. Thank you again to all participants for staying until the end of the session. Before we dismiss, a gentle reminder to all of the participants. We will be giving the next webinar session tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Sorry, my pardon. With representative with MyPack. The link will be provided before the session starts. And don't forget, we will have ongoing contests such as photo contest with Chinese New Year theme, and also a game to find the culprit. You can head to our Instagram Unimac Official if you wish to join any of this event. Monetary reward will be given as well, and you can see from the screen. This is the sorry, technical team, can you share the screen? Okay, as you can see there, this is the monetary reward will be given. As you can see from the screen, this is the second hint for the finding the culprit for those who are interested in joining the game. See you all tomorrow. Have a rest. And sayonara and thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone, and see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, so you guys can go back to have a rest and fill in the Google form and the feedback form. So thank you for attending our webinar, and bye.
않아 좀 더 가까이 와 다른 시선 따위 다 잊어버려 우리 늘 복잡한 저 세상과 기대에서 벗어나